all get a little louder? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. Our band tonight has been really great. The kids have been shaking their little things on the dance floor, and it's been great. We've got Clyde in the house. ClydeAbides.com is their website. They've got an Americana style, and they call it a porch stomp kind of music. It's a mix of folk, blues, swamp, Celtic country, and rock and roll. And tonight they're going to have us bobbing our heads, and hopefully later we'll be shaking it down here on the dance floor like the kids. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us for our 6th anniversary, Texans for Accountable Government. Man, it's been a great 6 years. It certainly has. We were founded out of the Ron Paul campaign in 2008, and we decided that we were going to focus on local activism, localizing the revolution that Ron Paul started by speaking truth to power and getting people involved in fighting for their own freedom. We focus on local and state issues, as most of you know, because most of you have been involved for most of this time. Working at the city level, working at the state level, where we have the most power that we possibly can with government, right? And so getting involved at the local level, working on the issues that are most important to us that affect our families every day. Our motto is humanize, harmonize, and localize. And it has worked out really well for us because it's a message that really resonates with people. It's about humanizing with your neighbors, with your friends, with your family, talking about things that are of real value to us as human beings. And then harmonizing with everybody that we meet and working together to change policy. And doing it at the local level because, again, that is where we have the most power. We have a... Can I have everyone's attention, please? Yes. Because it's a little distracting. Everybody's drinking and having fun over there, and I'm distracted because I don't have a drink in my hand. Vodka soda, please. So, we have a lot to be proud of. It's been 6 years of working hard, from privacy protections at the local and state level when it comes to fusion centers, when it comes to government snooping through our emails with no warrant. And grassroots mobilization and empowerment, because the people have the power. Our government, we have representative government right now, as we speak, because it's bureaucrats and lobbyists from corporations that show up at the Capitol, not the people. And when the people show up, we are effective. We change policy and we create the free country that was established here for us to triumph through. And it takes all of us getting involved, and that's what TAG has represented for me and for all of us in this room. And I'm really proud to have been part of this organization for almost 6 years. I wasn't blessed to be a part of it from the founding, but I think a few founding members are actually here in this room that have been pushing through. Norman Horn, we've got Katie Brewer, some founding members. Now, as we look ahead, we have a lot to look forward to. We have a lot of work on our hands. Just because we've gotten some wins does not mean that it's over. It means that we need to take that momentum and move it forward into changing more policy. At the city level, we have corporatism like no one's ever seen before, with the subsidies and other incentives that the city council passes. We have the over-militarization of our local police and a lack of accountability when it comes to it. And we have a concerted effort to stifle the voices of citizens when they do try to get involved at city council. And I think that we have a few city council candidates here tonight who are working to change that. Raise your hands. Let's see if we have any city council candidates here. And it really is a treat to have you all here. I know you've been block walking and phone banking and getting voters mobilized to support you in your elections. But just genuinely from the heart, I thank you for putting so much of your own livelihood on the line to run for office, because you see the value of putting yourself out there to call attention to the policies that we want to see changed, and ultimately to get elected to the city council in Austin and change the policies there. So thank you very much. And a little bit more exciting, we have our legislative session coming up. Hey, there he is. Just 1 second, please. Thank you. So we have our legislative session coming up. So there's work and then there's fun too, right? We work hard, we play hard. The legislative session is coming up January, which is just a few months away. I know it feels like just yesterday we got finished with the 2013 session where we had a bunch of success, a little bit of disappointment, but I am, for one, am ready to get started going again, and it's just a few months away. And working in our subcommittees like we've been doing, luckily we've been breaking out into groups and talking about the issues that are most important to us, working with the people who also think that those things are important, and finding a way forward. And the legislative session starts in January. Our legislators start introducing bills just 6 days after they're elected. 6 days. They're elected on a Tuesday, and on Monday, they're right to business. And that means we need to get to business. That means we need to be watching bills as they're introduced, watching them as they're referred to committee, and watching them through the session, and mobilizing the people that we know that are interested in these issues. Like privacy protection. You know, we've worked on with the Texas Electronic Privacy Coalition this last session, and people have been focused on the privacy that has been diminishing in this country for so long, and now they're mobilizing and taking action. So in 2011, we were able to pass privacy protection when it came to fusion centers, those big brother intelligent gathering hubs that are watching all of our movements and tracking people, including peaceful protesters in cities across the country, including Austin. We've got a lot of work to do, but we were able to rein them in at the state level, making sure that they collect only information that is not related to your political or social views or religious views when they're collecting information on people. And we passed that at the state level. But you know, we have more to do, including a GPS tracking bill. Our cell phones are tracking us all the time. And many of us are talking about Big Brother a lot, but we've got it right in our pockets, ladies and gentlemen. And we have to prevent our own government from using those devices to track us. And there's a bill that we'll be introducing, working with a coalition, a broad coalition of people that are interested in privacy rights to protect that. Defense of an armed citizenry. Right? A peaceful society is a polite society, and people have the natural, inherent right to keep and bear arms. And we continue to see every level of government working to encroach upon that. And it's our responsibility to get involved. It's our responsibility to take action and start speaking to legislators to get laws changed. Because Texas, as big as we talk about being proud of Texas, we don't have as much gun rights as other people in other states in this very country. And we need to work on that. And that's why I'm really grateful to see so much of a movement working to work on constitutional carry, which means that you as an adult have the right to openly carry a firearm to protect yourself. Preach! And that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. And that's what we're working towards. And there's a lot of great activists working on open carry marches, working on rallies, and working to mobilize people to defend themselves against not only an intruder, right, but to also defend themselves against a government that would work to encroach upon that right.
Yes. Oh yes.
Now we also have a really beautiful movement that is growing so much momentum all across the country that I think a few Texters want to work on, and that's the repeal of marijuana prohibition in Texas. Failed earlier in the last century when they tried to prohibit alcohol. It is failing now. All it does is empower the criminal market, and that's what we see with the violence on the border, and that's what we see going on all throughout Texas, and that's actually how they justify violating many of our peaceful citizens' rights, is because of the bad guys, right? Well, let's take the money out of the bad guys' hands, and let's create a free and legal market in Texas and repeal prohibition in Texas. And I think that we're going to be able to do that. We've also got a lot of folks working on sensible transportation issues.